Ciao ragazzi, this is Katie Portanova, and you're listening to Florence and Me. I'm a lover of stories and all things Italian, and I'm going to bring you all that in this podcast. My intention is to inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and explore life and travel the world. Join me as I tell you my story and many others about Italy and my love, Florence. Andiamo! Ciao a tutti! It's Katie. I'm back for another episode of Florence and Me. Today we're going to talk about wine. Yes, wine. Vino. Vorrei un bicchiere di vino rosso. Repeat. Vorrei un bicchiere di vino rosso. Why I repeat it is because I heard myself say that wrong. So, welcome. Today we are going to talk about one of my favorites, vineyards. One of my favorite vineyards I've been going to for the past 10 years, on and off. Not every time I go to Italy, but I try to get there. I was lucky enough to go this past September with Chelsea. Woohoo! It was awesome. So I'm going to tell you about first an event, and then I'll talk about the event later, and then I'm going to dive into what Montefioralle is all about, and the family of winemakers, and such. Okay? So my wine event, a virtual wine event. Those of you that maybe aren't ready to travel abroad yet, I am bringing Italy to you. On May 15th, it's a Sunday, at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, I will, if you're from different parts of the States, you are welcome to join as well. 9:30 Pacific, 10:30 Mountain, 11:30 with me, and 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. The event will be about an hour and a half. We will have a visual of the vineyard by Lorenzo's drone, and I'll explain Lorenzo and how I know him in a second. And we will see the inside of the wine cellar, how they make the wine. He'll explain all of that. And we will taste 3 wines, which will be shipped to your home. And you will be getting an email after you make the purchase of the 3 bottles of wine, an email that has 3 different recipes to pair with each wine bottle. You're welcome. The cost of it is, this is even better, it is $159 per device. Yeah, you can shove as many of your family members into one room, look at the screen on Zoom, you'll see Italy, $159. So get all your friends together, or maybe if you have you can stream it to a big screen TV. Again, this is all technical things. I'm just giving you ideas. You could have a really fun afternoon or lunchtime, because it'll be lunchtime. No, it'll be lunchtime for us, dinner time for Italy. I really can't wait. This is going to be my first virtual event with Italy, and I'm excited because I love supporting small vineyards and small businesses like Lorenzo and his family's vineyard. So yeah, I'll talk about it more towards the end. Now let's dive in to Montefioralle and how this vineyard came about. I'll tell you a little history about how I came to know Montefioralle and the vineyard and the little Borgo, which is a little tiny town. I first heard about it from a Florentine friend. I was teaching him English at the London school. I want to say back in 2010. And he invited me to, because he knew I was passionate about photography, and he was as well. He invited me on a little road trip to Montefioralle for an afternoon. So we went there, and I was taken aback. I was oh my God, the quintessential medieval little borgo that I've ever seen in my life. I'm really glad my friend took me here because there was a reason why. Because within a year, it must have been a year or a year after, again, my mind, for all my English students at London School, I don't remember exactly the date or the year that we met, but I want to say I met, I want to say I met him. You know what? I'm going to say I met Lorenzo before this friend took me to Montefioralle. I want to say that because I met this friend in 2011 and I feel like I met Lorenzo Manilla in 2010. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's been a long time. It's been over 10 years. I've kept in contact with him and his family. And every time I'm in Italy and every time I had a family friend come over when I was still living there, we made a point to take them there, me and Stefano. So the first time I went to Montefioralle was actually with my sister, to the vineyard with my sister in 2012, I believe. Yes, I think it was 2012. And I had never been, so Stefano, thankfully, he had a car, so he took us there, so it was awesome. Lorenzo had a little plate of bruschette and like little treats and then, the wine and the beautiful view of Montefioralle from their vineyard because it's right outside the city walls of Montefioralle. And then the next time I went, I took my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law Sarah, my brother Brian, was, I believe, 2013. I could be wrong. No, 2013. Yeah. Because we got married the next year. Both of us did. Yeah. I think it was 2013 in May. We went back and there was a little wine festival that time we were there in May. That was so fun. Anyway, so that is how I came about this amazing vineyard. And since then, like I said, Lorenzo has always welcomed me with open arms and has told me to stop by whenever I can. And it's every time I go, it's just awesome. It's amazing. So this past September, which most of you guys, if you've listened to my podcast from September or October, exactly when I talked about it, me and Chelsea, my dear friend, my other Italophile that loves Italy like me, we booked an apartment right in the old walls of Montefioralle. And that, guys, I recommend it. I do. We stayed there for 3 nights? 2 nights, I think. And oh my God, it was beautiful. It was like being in a different time period. Beautifully redone. Redone, I would say. Not completely, beautifully redone apartment in the center. Oh gosh, guys, it was amazing. We were within walking distance of everything, and Chelsea, being the artiste that she is, was able to paint from our front door. She sat outside and she did her little paintings, and I was very jealous because it was so pretty for her to do that. I wish I could have. Anyway, so yes, we got to go back. And this past time, Lorenzo told me, hey, I hear you're doing these retreats. I want to help you out. Like, why don't we get people excited about Italy? Let's do a virtual wine event. And that's the thing I was talking about earlier. So I'm so excited about it because we're going to do through Zoom. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So little history about Montefioralle. The family that is now running it to this day is the Sieni family. Forgive me if I said that wrong, Lorenzo Sieni. His great-grandfather, Renato, retired from his professional life in 1964. And he had this inkling and this wanting to tend to the vines outside of the Montefioralle walls. During that period, the priests of the Santo Stefano parish of Montefioralle were tending to those wines. So he asked the priests if he could rent the vineyard and take care of the vines for the town. And he did. He made Chianti Classico for the Santo Stefano parish. Santo Stefano. Stefano is sempre, is always comes up. Wherever I go in Italy, it's either Stefano, something that's connected to Stefano. Anyway, so Fernando, Lorenzo's dad, pause. The son of Renato was working as an engineer at the time his dad took over and rented these vines from the priests. And he developed a passion for viticulture and, I'm going to say it totally wrong, the study of wine. I'm not even going to say it. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. At the end of the 1970s. So he started developing this passion. He wanted to help his dad. So he started dedicating his free time when he wasn't an engineer, when he wasn't at work, to help his father with winemaking and following all the latest innovations in the wine production sector. And in the late 1990s, the church decided to sell the farm. I guess they didn't want it anymore. I don't know the whole story there, but the Siani family acquired it immediately. And then thus began their full throttle business. Lorenzo, his wife Manilla, his sister Alessia, and the patriarch Fernando. They have been doing this since the 1960s, 1990s as their own business, as their own vineyard. So that's the story of Montefioralle. It is a younger vineyard, and younger, than most, like maybe Antignori, like from the medieval times, like medieval times. Now I'm like thinking of that restaurant, but it's not that. In Medici times, like the Renaissance, like this vineyard is quite young compared to some of the older ones in Bolgheri, some other ones in the Chianti region. But honestly, guys, it has heart, it has soul, it has character. The Lorenzo, Manilla, and Alessia, I believe, I think I met her once, but Lorenzo and Manilla, they speak English very well because of me, because I was their teacher. No, not because of me. They continued on after me, but when they first came to me, they were still learning English. So yeah, that is the story of them. And this vineyard has a lot of, it just has a lot of things. I don't know. I'm very passionate about this vineyard, maybe because I just know it so well now. And I've been going there for so many years and just visiting them. It just feels close to my heart. So yeah, they make Chianti Classico, they make Riserva, they make Vinsanto, they make olive oil, not a lot of olive oil, and then they make my favorite, the Super Tuscan, EGT. Now, when I was there in September, Lorenzo was able to find one of his last bottles of 2018, and if you go to my website, you go to my blog, that is the bottle that me and Chelsea drank that night. It was awesome. So there's it's amazing place, guys. So if you are at all interested in maybe trying a different type of wine, maybe not something so commercial, so industrialized, this is a very rare wine. You will not find this wine in any grocery stores in the States. You will not find this wine on any like wine club things. They don't do any of that. They're too small to do that. So this is a really rare chance to get a taste of some Chianti wine that is very, very special. So that's the story about them. I'm going to go back to my event now. So on Sunday, May 15th at 11:30 Central Standard Time, we will be having a wine tasting. We will be whisked away to the hills of Tuscany in Chianti region above Greve Chianti, and we will visit this beautiful oasis that is Montefioralle. It is $159 per device, $159 per device. As many people can join you on this Zoom. I'm not going to be, it's not per person. So that's, phew, okay. So we'll be tasting 3 wines, a Chianti Classico, a Riserva, and a Vinsanto. And like I said, I will be sending you recipes that you can make beforehand to pair with each wine. And there's going to be plenty of time for you to ask questions. This is an interactive event. So Lorenzo loves answering questions. Lorenzo and Manila, I don't know who's, Lorenzo probably will be there, but I'm not sure if Manila will be there, but they love hearing your questions. So if you have any questions about wine, any questions about their wine, any questions about any kind of wine, any type of production of making wine, they will be happy to hear your questions and give you answers. Yeah. So on the other side of my business, for Truly Italy, I am still open for June. I've got 2 people signed up for our June retreat, our Italian travel retreat. I can fit probably 3 more comfortably into these apartments I have. So if you are at all interested, go to my website, look up the Italian travel retreats. On my website, sorry, where it says Italian work with me, and under work with me, it's Italian travel retreats. You get all the info about Montefioralle and where we'll be staying and what we will be doing. I will be driving you around with my husband, with Stefano. We will be going to a few of the towns nearby. We will be going to Florence one day. And I'm going to see if I can make this work since we're going to be driving. I'm cutting out the middleman. I want to take you to Montefioralle, to be honest. I really would like to do that. So yeah, the dates for that one is June 4th through the 11th. And yeah, it's including food, all the food that we have at the villa, at the Montefioralle, everything, every time we eat out, that will be on your dime. So budgeting that into your budget. And airfare, of course, is not included. So I'm just covering your transfer from the QC train station to Montefioralle. And then the excursions that we do will all be included, as well as any food we have on site. There will be a pool. We can do yoga. We can do meditation. There's going to be a lot of cool activities to do. I'm cutting the amount of people I'm going to have down so I can, so this can be an intimate event, and I can fit you guys all in one car because the cars go up to 7 person, including the driver. So 6, I'm going to cut it off at 6. So I could comfortably fit 5, 6 will be really tight, but I can still fit everybody in the car when we go on excursions. So that is what's happening in June. I've had some interest to do another retreat in September of this year, 2022. I have another villa that is actually right next door to my in-laws in Castel Fiorentino, about 30 minutes south of Florence, so really close to Florence. So those dates, I'm going to finalize that, is September 24th through October 1st. So that's 1 week. Same type of thing. We're going to be doing a cooking class. We're going to do a pizza class, a pizza party. We're going to do a wine tasting. We're going to do pool time. We're going to do meditation, yoga, if that's what you want to do. There's plenty of places to explore in at this villa. We are in a area where the streets are gravel, so it's very rural, but also quite close to supermarkets and stuff like that, pharmacies if we need it. But it's up up on a hill. It's really pretty. So if you wanted to go walking, take walks in the morning, you want to go running, you want to explore. There's plenty of things to do on that one. So I'm going to finalize that within this week, maybe next week. I'm trying to see how much interest I have, but that one, I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be the most 6 people. Okay. And if it's a couple, it's totally fine. There's 5 bedrooms in this house. 1 will be for me, 4 other bedrooms for my guests. There's a kitchen, there's a dining room, there's a family room, and then there's a pool right outside, private. Everything's private. It's our own oasis again. So yeah, that is my news for this week. There's a lot going on, guys. I mean, it's already January 2022. I want to get all this stuff out to you. I am determined to bring people back to Italy. Those of you that feel comfortable, I will bring you all the up-to-date news on COVID and what we need to know about our vaccine cards and the Green Pass and all the other things that Italy is putting into play for us to stay safe while traveling. If you guys have any questions on anything I was talking about today, feel free to email me at trulyitalytours@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, if you follow me there. On my website, trulyitaly.tours. You can contact me there. If you want to just chat a little bit about your upcoming trip to Italy, I will talk to you up to 15 minutes for free. So you could just schedule that through my website. If you wanted to talk further, there will be a fee, but it might be helpful, especially if it's your first time going to Italy and especially with COVID. There's just so many things to take into account for what is going on in our world. But I believe we shouldn't hold ourselves back for what's going on with COVID. I think we should protect ourselves, but I'm not stopping going to Italy. I would sooner die. I believe that, you only live once. You don't know when your last day is your last day. So I want to keep bringing some opportunities, events for you. I will try to offer other virtual events as well. I'm trying to, brainstorm other ideas that we could do from the comfort of your home. But this wine tasting thing will be my first dabble in that. So hopefully you'll make it. If you cannot make this one, I'm sure I'm going to do another one. So don't worry. So I think that's all my news today. I was going to say, and you? Do you have any news? I'm sure you do. The sign-up sheet for the wine tasting, the virtual wine tasting, is on my is not on my website, is on my Facebook page. It can be found it will be found in these notes. So if you're listening to this episode, I will attach the sign up for the virtual wine tasting. If you have a pen and paper, I can tell you the address. It's www.trulyitaly.tours/virtual-wine-tasting. Yes. Felt like I just told you everything really, really fast, but it's 22 minutes now that I've been talking, so I think that's good for today. Until next time, I'm going to talk more about the other vineyards. My next couple episodes will be about vineyards. So the two other vineyards that me and Chelsea visited in September, I'm going to get kind of the history about them, just like what I did today. And give you a little synopsis of what I thought about their wines. How's that sound? Bene? Tutto bene? Perfetto. Allora, ci si vede, ci si sente. Any questions? You know where to find me. trulyitalytours@gmail.com. trulyitaly.tours. A presto. Ciao. I am beyond grateful for you listening to my podcast right now. I am so excited to share my journey of living abroad and all of my stories of Florence and Italy and all the places in between that I've visited. If this has reached you in any way and you would like to continue, please subscribe now. Also, go check out my website, trulyitaly.tours, for all my travel experiences. Ci si vede. Ciao.